testament to the group that I'm in, the community that I'm part of. That community is pushing me to grow. I'm just surrounded with successful people, so it motivates me to take it further and achieve some of my goals and dreams because I want my kids to be able to see that their dad is a rock star, that they want to emulate him or whatever they do, whatever opportunities they choose to pursue, and just to kind of get them to see that there is something else outside of just working the 9 to 5, working the stable job from the government. There are other opportunities out there, and sometimes you just need to step out of your comfort zone and explore those opportunities.
Hello, and welcome back to the Very Real Estate Effect podcast, a show dedicated to real estate investing right here in Quebec. And today, luckily enough, we do have someone who's originally from Quebec. Hi, Patrice. How are you?
Good. How are you? Happy to be here tonight.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have you on and to share your story. Before we get right into it, I just want to remind everyone who's been following and supporting us week after week. Thank you for your support. It's deeply appreciated. As usual, please share this conversation with a friend who you feel could benefit from this conversation, because this episode is going to be packed with golden gems from Patrice. So refer a friend and get them to listen to it. It will help them and it will help us. Patrice is a real estate investor, jammed out of his, or still in his day job, and he's going to tell us all about it, and a fabulous entrepreneur. So Patrice, first of all, how in the world did you get started in real estate investing?
Well, it all started back in 2008, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing a red jacket right now, but it's Valentine's Day today, so I wanted to come out and celebrate Valentine's Day for those who celebrate Valentine's Day, because I know for yourself it's every day, but for me it's today, personally.
Fair
Um,
enough.
so I started in 2008 by buying a first single family home, and the plan was just to buy the property for a year and then flip it and then move back to Ottawa because the property was located in Gatineau. I didn't really know anything about real estate. I did not grow up being exposed to real estate. My family was more focused on school, getting that university degree because my dad was super good at school. And in my culture, they really, really put the importance on getting that degree. So that's the path that I had followed. So real estate wasn't really in my path, but I just said, I know people that are successful own real estate. So let's just give it a try and buy this property, and see how it goes, make a quick profit, and buy the home that we want. So that's kind of how we started back in 2008.
Nice. So all that with a single family home. And then what happened? You had a trigger and realized that, oh my God, there's money to be made?
Well, the plan didn't work out as you can imagine. You have a plan and then things don't work out your way. And when I was reflecting back on my journey, I realized that in 2008, there was this crash that happened in the US. But in 2008, I was oblivious to it. I didn't really pay attention to it. I didn't pay attention to the signs, to the market, to the type of property that I was purchasing. So I was going there because I didn't have any coaching and mentoring. So I was just going there blindly and thinking that my plan would work. We tried to sell the property after a year. It didn't work out, obviously, because the market had turned. So then a friend of mine said, why don't you try to rent the property? And I said, who's going to pay $2,000 rent when they could just buy their own property? And then I was worried about the tenants not paying the rent. So I said, maybe not. But then I gave it a try because we had already put in an offer on the property that we wanted back in Ottawa. So we gave it a chance. We had tenants, and when we listed it on Kijiji at the time, we had hundreds of requests for renting this property. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. This actually works. So we started with renting the property out, but then I had made a lot of other mistakes that I can get into later on during this call.
Sure. So then you actually got encouraged thinking like, oh my God, people will actually pay to live there and this property is finally going to start paying me.
Yes. However, the rent that I was charging was not enough to support my expenses. And I was even told by others that it wasn't a good thing to cover all your expenses because you would end up being paying more taxes. So I kind of followed that model, which didn't necessarily work for me. So
Okay.
um, first mistake is I didn't do my proper due diligence to find the right tenant. I just found anybody that had a heartbeat to live in this property. So I didn't really pay attention to tenant selection because I was just worried about finding a body to take over this property while I was focusing on my new build. So then I had a lot of problems because the tenants didn't pay on time. I've had issues where I went to collect the rent because at the time I used to collect rent physically. I show up at the property and the property is empty.
Oh,
Um,
they
oh
vacated
yes,
overnight?
vacated overnight. And then I just realized that the tenant that I had put in was a professional scammer. So had I done a quick Google research, I would have figured that out, but that's not something I paid attention to. So I had made a lot of mistakes and I didn't really believe in real estate at that time
Mhm.
afterwards.
And sorry to rub it in your face, but that's kind of like the mistake at the beginning where our primary criteria is just finding someone who's willing to pay or able to
Absolutely.
pay. But that's almost like the third or fourth criteria as you get more experience. So, okay, so this is where you started. Let's fast forward till now. Like, where are you at now and what does your portfolio look like?
Well, in 2018, I found my mentor because I kind of knew that the path that I was going was not in the right direction. So I needed proper mentoring, coaching, and guidance to make sure that that I didn't repeat the same mistakes. So I had my mentor that invited me. His name is Alfonso Quadra. They call him the godfather of real estate for a reason. He's very well established in the real estate area. So he invited me to his workshop in 2018. But at the time, I didn't really believe in real estate because I'm like, I had made so much mistakes. I had lost money. So I said, this thing doesn't work. Real estate doesn't really work. But then I went to his workshop and I was blown away because he didn't preach buying single family homes, which is what I was doing. He was talking about scaling and buying apartment buildings and growing your building generational wealth,
Mhm.
which is exactly what I wanted for myself and my family. Because what I realized in my community is sometimes we come to Canada. My parents came to Canada. They don't really understand the system. They're trying to figure things out. So they don't really think about building for future generations. So I didn't want to leave anything like debts behind for my kids. So I said, you know what? Let's focus more on building something that is more sustainable that could be passed on to my kids because I had to work for everything I had, and I just wanted to provide a head start to my kids. Whether they will follow my path or not, it's up to them. But at least I'll leave something for them behind, so that they can have a better head start in life than I did.
Yeah, definitely. And you've been able to do this through acquiring some larger multifamilies?
Correct. So that my first multifamily was a 21 unit building, which initially I didn't think was within my reach, but I did understand the power of getting together with other people that have what you want, learning exactly how to be successful from people that are actually successful, and just the power of the community and doing deals together, which is very powerful thing that sometimes we often overlook. We think that we have to do everything ourselves, but if you try to go alone, you're going to get stuck at some point. Either with single families, you're going to run out of your own money. But by doing deals with other people, that's where you can scale and grow your business.
Hmm. And then we were talking a little bit off air. You've also uh, not only built quite a successful portfolio in multifamily, but you've also started to diversify in other activities, which I find is really smart and something that we'd like to start to do as well. And was hoping you'd be able to share a little bit more with our audience of what kind of activity did you go into and for what purpose does it serve for you?
Like I I am passionate about fashion. I love dressing up. I've done this since I was young, but I did study this topic a little bit more, and I do understand that it's more than just putting clothes together. It's what the benefits are. So the way you feel outside, on the inside, reflects on your outer world. So I do want to pay back to others and help other people uh, improve the way they dress because I see the benefits of it. Because you appear more successful, you're more confident, you have more presence, and it boosts your credibility as well.
Huge.
And I could see what it has done for some people that I've worked with because I work with mainly men that because we do need help on the men's side. So I did see the difference in how other people see themselves once they throw in that jacket, you know. So it's more of a passion to me, but I also like to impart that to other people. So I do provide some personal styling services and personal shopping services as well, because I know that men, they don't like to shop. They'll pick anything, like whereas women, they'll spend more time picking out clothes and stuff. So I do have a passion for it. So I wanted to provide that service to other men. So what I do is we provide custom made suits, because once you wear a custom made suit, there is a big difference. It's based on your body type, your measurements, and you're not going to go want to go back to off the rack suits. So I'm just doing a quick plug in for anybody who might be interested. I can definitely help out.
That's a definite. You're absolutely right. Once you go custom, you never want to go back. And maybe I am going to have to call you and come by the office to talk about that. Okay, so then the styling services, and then I understand you also with a venture even bought a boat, bought a yacht. Like,
Yes, that
what's
was
that
a
about?
actually funny story because I'm a real estate guy. I didn't really believe in anything else outside of real estate, but this opportunity came to me when I went to a party on a boat in Montreal at the old port. And we were a group of friends, and we were just talking about like how do we buy something like this? We were just curious about it, and it just so happened that the owner was trying to sell the boat for about 3 years. He had been running this business for about 10 years, and then we said, well, okay, so I'm a real estate guy. I'm all about the numbers. I took a look at the numbers. Like, I don't know how to swim. I have a fear of water, but you know what? Let's give it a try. And since then, it's been a great business venture for us because I kind of wanted to diversify with the multifamily, which is more long term, with immediate cash flow to sustain my lifestyle. So I'm currently looking for other businesses that I could acquire that are stable, that could withstand ups and downs in the economy. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it's just a funny story. Sometimes you never think about what could happen, but I just saw the opportunity and I jumped on it.
Yeah. And so actually, I'd love to go a little bit in that direction. Like, so you have at least two example where you've diversified on top of your real estate portfolio. Like, is that purely for cash flow, or are there other reasons?
It's mainly for opportunities. Like I like to focus more on the real estate, but sometimes you know you have to diversify and kind of see what other opportunities are out there. But I still my main focus is building the wealth and the real estate while looking for other businesses that I could acquire, optimize, and expand and grow.
Mhm. And then just to understand your selection of businesses, because who knows, maybe someone listening to the podcast may have a business for you or an idea, or they know someone. So, what are some of the basic criteria that you look at for you to identify like a potential business venture that you'd like to get involved in?
For me, I want something like not a startup. I'd like to have something that's been built before, that has a good track record. And also, I see that now the baby boomers are willing to retire, are ready to retire. So I see this as a huge opportunity because a lot of them want to offload their businesses. So I'm looking for those types of businesses where baby boomers are just tired. They just want to move on and retire from being in business. So I'm looking for those opportunities actively.
Mhm. And are you more focused on I was going to say products or services or both?
I'm pretty much on both, on both. I'm pretty flexible as long as it's a good, sustainable business that has a good track record.
Okay. Okay, so if anyone out there has an idea, Patrice at the end will definitely let us know how to get in touch with him. And hey, who knows? And if you guys do something together, like cut me a few percentage points, it'd be great.
I
um,
like it.
and so you've evolved so much over the last like couple of years since your first single family home. I mean, you've made like leaps and bounds forward. You've even published a book recently. What's in store for you? What can we wish you for the next 3 to 5 years?
More growth, and that's all a testament to the group that I'm in, the community that I'm part of. That community is pushing me to grow. I'm just surrounded with successful people, so it motivates me to take it further and achieve some of my goals and dreams because I want my kids to be able to see that their dad is a rock star, that they want to emulate him or whatever in whatever they do, whatever opportunities they choose to pursue, and just to kind of get them to see that there is something else outside of just working the 9 to 5, working the stable job from the government. There are other opportunities out there. And sometimes you just need to step out of your comfort zone and explore those opportunities. So that's kind of what I'd like to leave behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so many people still think that they have to just do that employment job for the next 40 or 50 years. And it's sad, and I think you and I are on the same wavelength that we want to open as many eyes as possible and give them the light so that there is another possibility out there. And it's not instantaneous, and it takes some time to do a transition, but it is possible. And that's actually one thing I quite admire about you, has always been your drive to let people see for themselves while giving them the tools. And that's something that is also quite selfless, and I appreciate about you.
Thank you. And for real estate, just as an example, we've exposed our kids to real estate. They've participated in one of our deals, and we got them to sign a joint venture agreement. They probably don't even know what that means, but just to kind of plant the seed, you know what I mean? And see that there are opportunities to make money passively as well, which is something that we wanted to impart on them. And they can do whatever they want with that information. It's up to them, but they can't say that their parents didn't expose them to it. So that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I really encourage my kids to pursue, whatever the dreams that they want. But real estate is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
They've been happy right now with the results of the project that we undertook. It took more time than anticipated, and they were actually very good joint venture partners, which is good. But it kind of helps them build that muscle of not wanting everything right away. You
Exactly.
know, we're always looking for instant gratification, so that was kind of a test to them to invest their money and see it grow and wait until they reap the benefits. So the longer they waited, the better it was for them. So
Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. I find it's a great example of how many good values can be communicated to children, to young adults, about through real estate investing. Just like as you said, like, oh, we've signed a joint venture agreement. Like, hey, we're a team. We all bring something to the table. And the delayed gratification, and how to manage a budget, how to communicate with people, whether they're tenants, whether it's a contractor, whether it's financing, and all these things that, if presented in I was going to say almost like a game, it can really be a learning experience for them. Did you see some, I was going to say, some other benefits to your kids and how they act?
yeah, because they're already asking me about their next project. They want to invest right away, and they're just asking about like what are the differences or like different ways that you can make money in real estate, what kind of properties they should be focusing on. So I really encourage them to pursue entrepreneurship, business. Well, they can also do school, and if they choose to do the 9 to 5 too. But I just want them to have more options at their disposal.
Mhm. Okay. Wow. Well, if anyone would like to get in touch with you or to send you some referrals for businesses to maybe acquire, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Or you can get in touch with me by email at Milord Real Estate, so Milord, realestateoutlook.com, or through social media on Instagram or Facebook under my name, Patrice Milord. That's the best way to get in touch with me.
Perfect. And we'll make sure to put it in the show notes just below. All right. Well, thank you for the words of wisdom, Patrice. It's a pleasure to have you on and to share your experience and knowledge. And to everyone listening, the more it goes about real estate, the less it's about the brick and the technique, and the more about the mindset. And Patrice is a fabulous testament of that. So keep growing your mind, and of course, research your market, make some offers. All right. Thank you very much, Patrice, again.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here. Bonsoir. Bonne soirée.
Bonsoir. Thank you very much. Signing off. Talk to you next week.